Hey, it's Orit, and it's Love Lesson Tuesday. So today I want to talk about what happens when your partner isn't willing to go to therapy and it's all on you to fix the relationship. How are things actually going to change? This is actually a really big objection for a lot of people to not, to not go forward with the work because it kind of feels useless and pointless. Like if I'm the only one doing the work and getting help, how is that going to change what's going on between both of us? And that's actually false. Even though it sounds intuitive, it's actually not necessarily true. Because to be super blunt, having that kind of excuse when you're bringing the trauma into your relationship, it gives you an excuse to not do your necessary trauma work, to go in and release the trauma from the past. No matter what, that work is still really important for you to do, right? But to answer the actual question of the topic is that it still is helpful for you to do the work, even if you're the only one doing it. I know it's frustrating that they're not willing to do the same, but when you start to rewire your nervous system by accessing and healing your trauma that's stuck in your body, and when you have a different presentation because your nervous system is regulated and your energy is different, it changes your relationship. I was just having a session with a client who she had told me about how for the first time ever, she stood up to a very long time friend of hers. Nothing changed with the friend. The friend is still the same. The friend still has the same, issues or whatever, but my client set some serious boundaries in a really powerful way, and it just immediately changed their dynamic. She, not only in the moment did she respect her and listen to her and meet her where she asked to be met, but later in the week when another point of conflict came up, she again really respected her. She didn't cross those boundaries. This was a really mind-blowing experience to see, like, whoa, sometimes it just takes for you to, most of the time, to show up in your power, to be in your power and ask and speak up for what you need. And whether they do the work or not, you're totally changing the dynamic. So let's say, your partner, or let's say you often snap and get kind of more angry and explosive with your partner. Everything is co-created in your relationship, in every relationship. And your nervous systems are always co-regulating, or rather co-dysregulating. So if you're snapping and getting angry, whatever their nervous system pattern is, maybe they snap back, they get angry back, they fight back, or they might be more ones to freeze and go in silence and shut down and not speak to you for a couple of days or whatever they do. They're reacting to your reactions. And while I'm not trying to excuse their behavior or yours or anybody's, you are in this together. So whatever your reaction is or whatever their reaction is, it's going to keep that vicious cycle going. So if you're more of the one who freezes up and doesn't speak up and they more snap at you, well, then again, the same pattern is going to keep on going. Because imagine if they snapped at you and you were able to stand in your power, set a certain boundary and speak up for what you need. It would change everything. It would be like, whoa, like showing up in your power is totally different. It's like you are demanding respect without necessarily being demanding. You're embodying that and showing up in a strong way, and it changes everything. And it does take some adjustment, adaptive time for you both to then get on the same board, get on board together. But it changes things, even if you're the only one doing the work, because that's how nervous system rewiring and regulation works. It always takes 2 people or more. It always takes at least a relationship, so a pair, where your nervous systems get to co-regulate together. And that is the most effective way to rewire, as long as it is a healthy relationship. Now, I'm not saying to go rewire your relationship through your partner, because your partner should never be your therapist. It should happen in a contained, safe setting, in a safe relationship with a professional who can actually see your micro body movements, your micro body signals that are telling us, that you're about to go into a fear reaction, a fear response. But when you do the work, even if it's only you're already helping to transfer that into your relationship. And now you get to change your dynamics, change your communication patterns, and actually it's like become a new entity together. And this is often why couples counseling doesn't work. And I'm talking about like couples talk therapy, is because when you talk about, how you're reacting, how you're responding, the behaviors that are going on, having the same arguments over and over again, nothing is actually changing. You actually have to physically, actively rewire your nervous system, of course, access and release the trauma from the past, and physically try on these new ways of being, these new behaviors, so that you can start speaking up, so that you don't snap and you actually assertively express your anger instead of being more out of control with it. So it is completely possible to change your relationship. I know that's a huge burden. I know that can feel like a lot on you. But the truth is, it doesn't even feel that way once you start the work. It feels amazing that you're doing this thing for yourself, where you're committing to yourself to access and release your trauma and create deep, lasting, loving relationships. And you kind of forget that, like, oh yeah, I'm the one carrying the burden, because it doesn't feel like a burden. You're actually taking away the burden. You're releasing all this stuff you've been holding in your body for so long, and it feels amazing. And it affects every part of your life, your business, your career, your work relationships, your relationships with your kids. And so you actually just end up doing something really amazing for yourself that also wildly benefits your relationship. So if you're interested in understanding how exactly you can access and release your trauma, rewire your nervous system, and physically learn new behaviors so that you can have a better connection, you can have a more deep, loving relationship, and basically wire your body for love, for lasting love, even if your partner isn't willing to do the work, then let's have a chat. I'd love to meet with you for a free relationship review, and we will see exactly what trauma is stored in your body and the steps that you need to take to get from this endless, vicious cycle of unhealthy patterns and behaviors and stuck communication or no communication at all with your partner, to having graceful conversations, even at points of conflict, and basically just falling in love again. I know this sounds so cliche, like falling in love again and being best friends with your partner again. And that I'm laughing because I am so cheesy right now, but these are the kinds of things that I say to my partner. I'm like, you're my best friend. I'm like a little girl. So if that's something you're interested in talking about, how this can happen for you, then send me a message. Or if you're watching where there's a link, there may be a link above, below, or to the side. Click on the link and book your free relationship review today. It's obligation free. There's no obligation to work with me. We'll just have a chat. All right, until next time, can't wait to see you move. Bye.